Have you ever noticed that your brain does not seem to have an off switch? You are lying in bed, replaying one sentence someone said 3 days ago. You are in a group conversation, but part of you is studying everyone's tone, facial expression, and hidden meaning. You solve problems quickly, but somehow simple decisions still exhaust you. Most people think genius looks like confidence, speed, and perfect answers. But often, a powerful mind feels like too much noise in a room nobody else can hear. So today, you are going to learn the mental cheat codes highly intelligent people use to turn overthinking into clarity, sensitivity into insight, and emotional intensity into real inner power. This is for you if you have ever felt misunderstood, intense, distracted, gifted, sensitive, anxious, or strangely different from the people around you. Maybe you were called mature as a child, but now you feel tired from always noticing everything. Maybe you have a high capacity for ideas, but your nervous system gets overloaded before your potential can fully come through. We are not here to diagnose you or put you into a box. We are here to understand how a complex mind can be trained with compassion. In this video, you will learn 6 mental cheat codes inspired by how deep thinkers, scientists, artists, and emotionally intelligent people process the world. These are not magic tricks. They are practical ways to think more clearly, remember more deeply, regulate your attention, and stop treating your mind like an enemy. The first cheat code is this: stop confusing stillness with laziness. Many brilliant minds do some of their best thinking when they appear to be doing nothing. You might be staring out a window, walking without music, sitting in silence, or letting your thoughts wander in the shower. From the outside, it looks unproductive. Inside, your brain is connecting memories, testing possibilities, and organizing unfinished emotional material. If you have trauma or chronic stress in your background, stillness can feel uncomfortable because your mind may immediately search for danger, mistakes, or rejection. But gentle mental idleness is different from spiraling. Spiraling repeats fear. Deep processing lets ideas breathe. Try this simple practice. For 10 minutes, do not solve, scroll, or judge. Just notice what your mind keeps returning to. Then ask, what is this thought trying to organize? Not what is wrong with me, but what is my brain trying to complete? That small question turns noise into information. The transition is important. Once your mind has space, it needs a way to make ideas clear. The second cheat code is the simple explanation test. If you really understand something, you can explain it in plain language without hiding behind complicated words. This is powerful for learning, but it is also powerful for emotional healing. Imagine you are upset because a friend took hours to respond. Your first explanation might be, "They do not care about me." But when you slow down, a clearer explanation might be, "My body remembers being ignored, so uncertainty feels unsafe." That is not weakness. That is pattern recognition mixed with old pain. The simple explanation test has 3 steps. Number 1. Say the problem in 1 sentence. Number 2. Remove blame, drama, and mind reading. Number 3. Explain it as if you were helping someone you love. For example, instead of saying, "I ruin every relationship," you might say, "I become anxious when connection feels unpredictable, and I am learning to communicate before I panic." Genius is not making life sound complex. Genius is finding the clean sentence underneath the chaos. And once you can name something clearly, you can remember and use it more effectively. The third cheat code is spaced return. Most people try to learn by forcing everything into their mind at once. Then they feel ashamed when they forget. But forgetting is not a moral failure. It is part of how memory works. Your brain keeps what it revisits. This applies to facts, skills, and emotional lessons. If you learn one insight in therapy, from a book, or from a difficult experience, it may feel life-changing in the moment. But if you never return to it, stress will pull you back into older habits. Try creating a small review rhythm. After you learn something important, revisit it later that day, then 2 days later, then 1 week later. Keep it simple. One note in your phone can be enough. Write sentences like, I do not need to answer every thought. I can pause before reacting. Someone being distant does not automatically mean I am abandoned. This is how you train your brain gently. You are not trying to become a machine. You are teaching your nervous system through repetition that new responses are available. When memory becomes intentional, problem-solving becomes calmer. The fourth cheat code is first principles thinking. This means you stop arguing with the surface of a problem and break it down to what is actually true. Overthinkers often suffer because they build entire emotional worlds from assumptions. Someone pauses before answering, and your mind creates a courtroom. Are they angry? Did I say something wrong? Are they leaving? First principles thinking asks, what do I know for sure? What am I guessing? What is the smallest next step? For example, if you feel stuck in your career, your mind may say, I am behind, I wasted time, everyone else knows what they are doing. But the basics might be, I need income, I need skill growth, I need a healthier schedule, and I need one clear experiment for the next 30 days. That is workable. This method is especially helpful if you grew up in unpredictable environments, because your brain may have learned to predict danger before it happens. That skill once protected you. Now you can refine it. You can keep your intelligence without letting fear write the whole story. And once you return to basics, you can practice flexibility. The fifth cheat code is mixed practice. Many intelligent people want to master one thing completely before moving to the next. Feels safe. Feels controlled. But real growth often happens when you mix related skills before you feel ready. If you are learning communication, you do not only practice being calm. You also practice asking for clarification, setting a boundary, admitting uncertainty, and repairing after conflict. If you are learning a creative skill, you do not only study. You produce, compare, revise, rest, and return. Mixed practice feels messy because your brain cannot rely on autopilot. That discomfort is not proof that you are failing. It is often proof that your mind is adapting. Think of someone who is socially anxious but highly observant. They may understand people deeply, yet freeze when it is time to speak. A mixed practice approach would not demand instant confidence. It would combine small eye contact, one honest sentence, one question, and one recovery breath after the interaction. You are training range, not perfection. This matters because intelligence becomes freedom only when it can move across different situations. The sixth cheat code is a thinking journal. Not a diary where you punish yourself. Not a place where every page becomes a list of what went wrong. A thinking journal is where you turn mental clutter into patterns you can work with. Divide a page into 4 simple sections. Number 1, what happened? Number 2, what I felt. Number 3, what I assumed. Number 4, what else could be true. This structure respects both your emotions and your intelligence. For example, what happened? My manager gave short feedback. What I felt? Embarrassed and tense. What I assumed? I am not good enough. What else could be true? They were busy, the feedback was specific, and I can ask one clarifying question. This is not toxic positivity. You are not forcing yourself to feel fine. You are widening the frame so your brain has more than one interpretation to choose from. Over time, this builds metacognition, which means you can observe your thoughts without being swallowed by them. That is one of the deepest forms of inner freedom. You begin to realize you are not your first reaction. You are the awareness that can respond. So here are the 3 things to remember. First, your mind is not broken because it is active, sensitive, or intense. It may simply need better containers for all that processing. Second, genius is not just speed or raw intelligence. It is clarity, repetition, emotional regulation, flexible practice, and the ability to return to what is real. Third, the same brain that overthinks can also become deeply creative, intuitive, and wise when you stop attacking it and start training it. You do not have to become someone colder or less sensitive to become stronger. You can become more grounded while staying fully yourself. If this made you feel seen, write the word clarity in the comments. Not because everything is solved, but because you are choosing to understand your mind instead of fighting it. And tell me which cheat code you need most right now. Stillness, simple explanation, spaced return, first principles, mixed practice, or journaling. Subscribe if you want more psychology videos for intelligent, sensitive, deeply feeling people who are learning how to turn inner intensity into self-trust. In the next video, we will go deeper into why highly intelligent people often feel lonely, even when they are surrounded by others.